Did you know that the very moment you open your eyes each morning, your cardiovascular system enters a danger zone? According to medical statistics, most cases of stroke and heart attack do not happen randomly but occur most frequently between 6 a.m. and noon. Doctors refer to this as the dawn phenomenon, a time when the body is forced to abruptly shift from deep rest to active functioning. For people over 60, this period is especially sensitive because blood vessels have lost elasticity, causing the heart to work much harder. Many believe that taking medication regularly and eating less salt is enough to stay safe. But in reality, it's not that simple. It is the everyday morning habits, repeated day after day and seemingly harmless, that quietly cause blood pressure to spike before the body has time to adapt. If you are in this age group, understanding and paying attention to what you do during the first 30 minutes after waking up can make a huge difference, and may even determine your heart health and personal safety. Many people over the age of 60 often believe that high blood pressure is an inevitable part of aging, or that taking medication regularly and eating less salt is enough to stay safe. In reality, however, elevated morning blood pressure does not come from a single cause but is the result of multiple physiological reactions occurring simultaneously right after waking up. After a long night's sleep, the body is in a state of deep rest, the heart rate slows and blood vessels are relatively relaxed. When you wake up, the body must quickly shift into an active state, the heart begins pumping more forcefully, and blood vessels constrict to deliver blood to the brain and vital organs. In older adults, blood vessels have lost elasticity, making this transition more difficult and increasing the likelihood of sudden spikes in blood pressure. What makes this especially dangerous is that daily morning habits, such as how you get out of bed, what you drink first, or the type of breakfast you choose, can amplify these physiological responses without you realizing it. This quiet, repeated pattern is precisely what turns morning blood pressure into a serious threat. Even when readings later in the day may appear relatively stable, one of the most common morning mistakes, especially among people over the age of 60, is getting out of bed immediately after opening their eyes and starting to move right away. This may seem perfectly normal, but for a body that has been in deep rest for many hours, it is actually a very sudden transition. After lying down for a long time, blood is distributed more evenly throughout the body, and the heart beats more slowly. When you stand up too quickly, gravity pulls a large amount of blood down into the legs, briefly reducing blood flow to the brain. The body reacts instantly by making the heart beat faster and more forcefully, while blood vessels constrict to compensate. In older adults, blood vessels have lost much of their elasticity, so this response can easily trigger sudden spikes in blood pressure. This not only causes dizziness and loss of balance, but also increases the risk of falls at home, especially in the bathroom in the early morning. Repeating the habit of getting up too quickly day after day can silently place heavy strain on the heart and blood vessels, forcing the cardiovascular system to work too hard from the very first minutes of the day. If you feel this is true or helpful, please leave a comment with the letter N to reduce sudden strain on the heart and blood vessels right after waking up. The most important thing is to give your body time to adjust. Instead of jumping out of bed immediately, you should follow a very simple yet highly effective habit known as the 1-minute rule. After opening your eyes, slowly turn your body and sit up gently on the edge of the bed. Stay in this position for about 1 minute, allowing your heart rate and blood pressure to stabilize gradually. While sitting, you can gently move your feet, rotate your ankles, or flex and stretch your toes. These small movements help activate the leg muscles and support blood flow back to the heart and brain in a natural way. For older adults, this serves as a safe transition before standing up and walking. By making this small change each morning, you can significantly reduce the risk of dizziness, loss of balance, and falls, while also preventing unnecessary spikes in blood pressure. The 1-minute rule takes no extra time and requires no equipment. Yet it provides long-term benefits for heart health and everyday safety. After a long night's sleep, your body is slightly dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. For many hours, you haven't had any water, yet your body keeps losing fluids through breathing and sweating. That's why, when you first wake up, your blood tends to be thicker and circulation is not as smooth as later in the day. But many people have the habit of reaching for coffee as soon as they open their eyes. At that moment, caffeine makes you urinate more, which only worsens dehydration and forces the heart to work harder to pump blood through the body. Early in the morning, your body also naturally releases cortisol, a hormone that helps you feel awake. When coffee is added too soon, it works together with cortisol, overstimulating the nervous system, tightening blood vessels, and making blood pressure rise more easily. For people over 60, whose blood vessels are already less elastic, repeating this habit every day quietly puts extra strain on the heart and blood vessels. That's why such a small morning habit can have a real impact on blood pressure and long-term health. If this sounds familiar or feels true to you, leave a comment with the letter N to reduce strain on your heart and blood vessels in the morning. You don't need to give up coffee. You just need to change the order. After a long night's sleep, what your body needs most is gentle rehydration. Drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up helps thin the blood, improves circulation, and takes some pressure off the heart. Water, especially warm water, also helps the digestive system wake up and allows the body to feel alert more naturally. Once the body is properly hydrated, the usual morning tightening of blood vessels happens more gently, and blood pressure becomes more stable. After that, it's best to give your body some time before having coffee, ideally about 60 to 90 minutes later. By then, your natural alertness hormones have started to settle, so coffee works more smoothly without overstimulating your system. This small daily habit can help reduce unnecessary morning spikes in blood pressure, while still allowing you to enjoy your coffee in a way that feels safer and easier on your heart in the long run. Another very common morning mistake, especially among people over the age of 60, is starting the day with a breakfast high in sugar or refined carbohydrates. Pastries, cookies, white bread, jam, or fruit juice are often seen as light and convenient choices. But for a body that has just woken up, they are not ideal. When these foods are eaten on an empty stomach, blood sugar rises very quickly in a short amount of time. The body responds right away by releasing a large amount of insulin to move sugar into the cells. This process makes the body more likely to retain water and salt, increasing blood volume and putting extra pressure on blood vessel walls. In older adults, whose blood vessels have already lost elasticity, this reaction can quietly lead to spikes in blood pressure. In addition, sharp swings in blood sugar often leave people feeling tired, sluggish, or less alert later in the morning. Repeating a sugary breakfast day after day can place ongoing strain on the cardiovascular and metabolic systems, even if you don't notice it right away in daily life. If this sounds familiar or feels true to you, leave a comment with the letter N. After the age of 60, heart health does not depend only on medication or genetics. It is strongly influenced by what you do in the first hours of each day. The way you get out of bed, what you drink first, and the kind of breakfast you choose can all directly affect your blood pressure and circulation. The good news is that you don't need to change everything at once. By adjusting one small habit at a time, your body can slowly adapt in a healthier direction. Getting up more gently, drinking water before coffee, and choosing a healthier breakfast all help reduce sudden strain on the heart and blood vessels. When these habits are practiced consistently, they become a solid foundation for long-term health, helping you feel lighter, more alert, and more at ease in daily life. Don't wait until your body sends warning signs before making changes. Start taking care of your heart through small actions, beginning tomorrow morning. If you found this information helpful, please leave a comment with the letter N to show that you're ready to start making healthier changes for yourself.